Hey, Betty, you want to come out? And to do that, I just wanted to focus. Focus. Here. There you go. So we are here at Cherry Creek around sunset. I thought it would be a nice quiet place for Angus to walk around, but so far he just wants to stay in his bag and be carried, which is okay. It's a new place. He is very heavy though. We have seen some rabbits, a lot of people walking their dogs, a few off-leash dogs, which isn't great because of the aforementioned rabbits. It's a nice quiet area. The river might be a little bit loud for him. Isn't that right, buddy? You just want to go to sleep? Yeah, right. I'll try again in a different spot. He did have a snack, which is good. I cannot make this camera focus. Hey, baby. There's lots of good smells, huh? Just not good enough for you to come out of the bag. Alright. Sure you don't want to get out and walk, Betty? You'd rather just be a kangaroo? What do you think? It's kind of interesting, right? Don't worry, we're not going in the water, it's just blurping. Oh, look, there's ducks. Look at those ducks. Hi, ducks. You lost interest in the ducks? I like ducks. Are mallard ducks native to Colorado? I have no idea. Just kind of everywhere. You keep going, or you want to keep watching them ducks? I can feel how tense his muscles are. He wants to pounce. But we're not going to let you pounce, are we? No. Because you're an invasive species. Hey. Motorcycle scary? Yeah, I agree. Onward! Nearly tripped. That would be bad. Fall into the river. Creek. And it's back into Heidi mode. Now, I almost stopped by Walgreens to get a selfie stick so I wouldn't have to awkwardly hold the camera. Angus is interested in this area. Yeah. But I didn't, so I am awkwardly holding the camera. But as you can see, even when he doesn't feel like walking himself, Angus does get interested in the things happening. In this case, we're coming up to a waterfall, which is quite loud, which is a little scary for a kitty. But he's safe in his bag, and he knows that. He is also on his harness, as always. So that even if he gets a little freaked out and jumps out, which happens very rarely, I still have a hold of him. And back in the bag, where it's safe and quiet. There's that waterfall it is so very noisy that Angus doesn't like. Oh, hey buddy, you coming out? I've never really vlogged before. I was worried it'd be awkward, and honestly, if I were in a public space, it absolutely would be. But as it is, just walking around in a quiet area where I run into a person maybe every 5 minutes, it's pretty easy. My phone has decided it only wants to record things of about 8 seconds, so hopefully this camera will pick up some sound. I managed to pick up my headphones the other day, so hopefully. How do people think of things to say when they're streaming and making vlogs? I just don't know. This is a really nice area. Oh, the boy is back. The boy is back. He's so good. He's such a good, brave boy. Now that we're farther from the road and the loud motorcycle. So yeah, we're still just following the creek backwards towards the car. You want to sniff? You can get some good sniffs in there. Yeah. What do you see? You want to get out? When I see you look down, I think you want out. Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it. Oh, the bravest boy. The bravest kitty who ever was. So now that Angus is taking the initiative, I'm going to untangle his leg and let him take initiative. He can lead the way. And I just stop him if he goes somewhere a little too dangerous. Yeah, but this way, he can look at all the things, and I can't tell what he's looking at because he's better at looking at things than I am. And he's safe, and things are safe from him. Oh, there's people passing by up on the actual sidewalk. So this looks totally like isolated in the middle of nature and everything, but no, there's houses right there. There's a road right up that hill. Yeah, we're not actually far from civilization at all. Are we, bud? So, the thing about walking with a cat is a lot of times you're not going to be walking. He wants to just sit and get his bearings. Cats are ambush predators, and they prefer to see things without being seen themselves. But although he's being cautious, he's not scared. If he were really scared, he would be bolting and trying to climb up me and bury himself in my neck. There's a dog passing by. The dog's not close enough to see us, though, so it's fine. But yeah, walking with a cat is a lot of kind of having a home base and walking in a figure 8 around it. It's good for him to see new sights, and it's good for me to have him off my back, which is not good. Bingo. So, due to the nature of how cats want to go, I have Angus on a retractable leash. Retractable leashes are generally not actually recommended for dogs because this will cut you. The strap is intense, and if it gets yanked on it, you will get rope burn. I've had it happen, even with Angus. with him jumping off my shoulder occasionally. But with Angus, it's okay to have a retractable one instead of a fixed one that you wrap around your hand, just because he doesn't really pull, because he's a cat. He works differently than dogs. And he's small. You probably shouldn't use a retractable leash on anything big and heavy. It's just too much. Angus is heavy for a cat, but not in general. And the other thing is, with cats, it really is all about communication. If something were to happen and he got scared and tried to bolt, the leash would stop him temporarily, but not completely. Cats don't have attached collarbones. They are made to squeeze through things, and he can squeeze out of this harness really easily if he wanted to. It's just there as a safety precaution so that it will slow him down enough that I can scoop him up. If he wants to go in the exact opposite direction, I have to let him for a moment and then just pull to stop him, and then he knows, hey, that's not where we're going. And oftentimes he will protest this by just sitting down and refusing to move, in which case I pick him up. But bottom line, you can't just stop a cat by holding the leash, because they'll just get out. And that's good, actually, because dogs don't choke from their leashes. They're built in such a way that their throat doesn't collapse in that way. Cats will choke, which is why cats get breakaway collars. They need to be able to squeeze themselves out of things that would hurt them. I'm not doing a great job explaining this, but I'm just trying to talk through things. Hey, someone coming? So yeah, a lot of back and forth. Walk a few steps, then sit. That's how it works. In places he's more familiar with, he will go quicker, but it still has that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Oh, found a good smell, it seems. The sun is setting. Don't know how well that's going to show up on camera, but it's orange and pretty. Back to the cat. Oh! It's a dog! It's a dog! Let's pick up the kitty. Yep, just in case. Oof! You have no concern about the dog whatsoever, do you? Ugh. Hey, Pupper. So that was actually kind of funny. I've got Angus just in my arms right now. I didn't record because I don't feel comfortable recording other people or their pets without permission. They're going the opposite direction, so I'm going to let him down. But that was the very rare dog that actually noticed Angus. Most dogs don't think to look up, and they will not notice him at all if he's in my arms or on my shoulder or in his bag. But sometimes they do. And that dog in particular did get a little excited, but the owner had very good control of her. I don't know where we're going now. I'm honestly a little surprised he didn't go for the bag again, but I guess now that he's in the zone, he's gonna explore. Whoop. Looks like like there are people biking here. I'm also very lucky Angus hasn't tried to go under too many things. That is a thing with cats. They like to go under and around. It makes them feel safe, but it tangles leashes real bad. Now what? Now what? Whoop. You are so determined. I've never known you to walk in a straight line for this long, Angus. You tracking something? You smell other cats or raccoons or dogs or what? So again, I'm keeping a very close eye on his body language. His ears are going back. Whoa! Whoa! I didn't know that was hollow. What was I just saying about going under things? So since I don't want him to go there, I just give some short pulls on the leash, and he knows that means, hey, stop, and reverse direction. Because if I just held the leash in place, he would disappear under there and I'd never see him again. I mean, I probably would. He's a baby and a mama's boy. And now he has stuff on his head. Okay, so I've done another switcheroo because my space ran out on the other memory card on the other camera. So this is my HD camera that is harder to focus. Right, I was talking about his ears and his body language. So, as you can see, Angus's ears are a little bit back, and he looks a little bit grumpy by accident while trying to focus. Hey, baby. And yeah, his tail is lashing. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's angry. He's just focused and active and alert. His ears now are forward because something happened that caught his interest. Don't know what. But you gotta keep super aware of your cat's interest and what they're doing, how they're feeling. And, you know, always err on the side of caution. If it looks like they're getting spooked by something, I will scoop Angus up and put him in the bag so he'll be safe and in my control. I do a double take every time he does, but I cannot see what he is hearing. And going back the way we came, and he's got those I'm on a mission ears again. Don't know what that mission is. Is the mission to go back to the car? Because we can do that. This is the correct direction for that. That's kind of the correct direction for that, but it's the hard way. Let's not do that, baby boy. Come back down. Come on. He really wants to look at this tree. Nope. Angus. Hey. Hey. You there. He's listening to other people walking. And I'm switching to manual focus because autofocus does not want to work. What are you listening to, buddy? Any people walking by? Yeah, there's someone on the phone up there having a good time. Angus is less sure about that. Come here, baby. So now we're at an impasse where he wants to keep going up and I want him to come back down. And so since he is not responding to my giving him a tug, I gotta go bring him down myself. Ugh. Come here, you. And that's the nice thing about cats. It's a little tougher with dogs. They are small. I can just pick him up, and he's fine. He is totally fine with it. He don't care. He would have preferred to keep going that way, but I didn't let him, so now we're back on the path. Your head is so dirty, Angus. This is basically our first real outing since winter. I mean, it still snowed last Sunday, so we just haven't gone out because of the weather and my own laziness. It's neat. We don't get to do nature trails too often. What you doing? Can we keep going back toward the car, buddy? Sniff, sniff, sniff. See, I kind of want to start heading back, especially since the sun is setting, as previously mentioned. I don't mind driving in the dark, but I do mind being out with Angus in the dark because he is invisible. But there's so many smells, and I don't want to discourage him. You're so handsome, Angus. Yeah. You gonna keep going? Okay. I blocked Angus's leash when he was trying to climb that, and now he keeps getting pulled backward. There we go. Oop. I've got to look at another branch. There might be another secret passage that I have to pull you out of. If you're curious why Angus isn't wearing a collar, I pretty much only have it on him when we're traveling. Instead, I have a tag on his harness. And really, I should have put his collar on before we went out, but I forgot. But having the backup tags is kind of my solution. I stopped having him wear it all the time because it was making a permanent part in his fur. There's just a space now on his neck where you can see his fur. And I think that happens with a lot of cats, but since he's short-haired and black with bright white skin, it's really obvious on him. And it makes me feel bad even though he's not uncomfortable. And he goes jingle, jingle, jingle. Oh. Not this path after all. Let's keep headed toward the car though. Yeah. Good boy. A real good smell there. Sniff, 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 sniff. Okay, don't go into the gopher hole, please. Or whatever burrowing creature that is. Maybe a bunny. You like bunnies. You made friends with a bunny once. But most bunnies don't really want to be friends with random cats. That was a unique bunny. and sit. Sit and watch. That is the kitty cat way. So a big part of animal training and enrichment is positive reinforcement. And you hear people, say you should only use positive reinforcement or you should have a balance with negative. But it's important to have positive, and choice. I mean, you saw me drag him out of like dangerous or not allowed situations. But most of the time, if we don't have somewhere to go, I let him choose what we're doing. If he just wants to sit here and smell a pile of leaves, that's what we'll do for a little bit. I'm not gonna force him to walk like a dog would on a leash, because he's not a dog, he's a cat. He's got his own way of doing things. And the thing about Angus is he is food motivated. He loves treats and wet food. But he's not super food motivated. He would rather have companionship than treats. And when he's out like this, when he's somewhere that he feels he has to be alert, he won't eat a treat. So I give him his treat reward whenever we go back to the car. I give him treat upon leaving in the car and upon entering the car to go back and upon reaching the destination. Just a little snack. And I make sure to heap praise upon him and give him a nice big batch of treats when we get home to let him know that we're done and he did a good job. But unlike with dogs, I can't just give a command and give him a treat and that will be consistent. He knows how to sit, and that's about it. We're working on him giving me his paw, but I don't think he gets it because he just doesn't want to. The sitting was kind of a necessity because every time I gave him wet food, he'd get it on his head. So teaching him to sit first meant that I didn't have to clean gravy off his head later. Whereas everything else is just kind of for fun. And then leash training is literally just repetition and the two of us finding a balance. When I first started bringing him out, when I adopted him, they told me he was partially harness trained, whatever that means. Debating sitting down, but as soon as I do, he's going to start moving again. Partially harness trained. And it wasn't that hard to train him. He was scared at first. I literally just carried him. We used to use a messenger bag instead of this doggy backpack that I have now, because he's too big for a lot of the kitty backpacks. But we'd use his real carrier, or he'd be in a bag, or I'd just carry him while he's on his harness. And he would be nervous, but he knew he could go to me for comfort. And we slowly worked out these communication things with the leash of like, no, I don't want you to go that way. And he knows he can always get back in his bag whenever he's tired of walking or if he gets spooked. Still don't know what he's looking at. And a biker passing by. And we're moving again. be the time that I pick him up, because he's kind of trying to double back, and I would prefer to keep going in the direction of the car. His tail is flashing at me for that. And he just sits. Because he wants to keep going that way and I don't, so his protest is to sit. God, I hope this is recording. Good news, it was recording. Now it's recording again. I don't know, bud. Should I pick you up? Right on my shoulder for a bit so we can actually make progress back toward the car? I think perhaps that's what we'll do. It is getting dark. Alright. I can't selfie this camera because it's on a neck strap. Okay, we're back on the phone. It only has 12% battery, so this might cut off very abruptly. But it is very dark. I mean, not very dark, but it's definitely darker than it was. It will be dark soon. And I have a wiggly kitty who wants to walk on his own after refusing to walk for so long. But we're headed back to the car so that we're not stuck out here. I do, despite the low battery, I do have the phone and I've got a flashlight separate from the phone. And we're like super close to civilization. So, in fact, well, I don't want to deal with the hill. There's a little path back up to the sidewalk there, but it's very steep and I'm wearing sandals and carrying a cat, so. See, I think he gets more confident at night and I'm all nervous. It's not actually late, it's probably like 8 o'clock or something. But dark is dark. Ugh. So I was hoping he'd climb onto my shoulder, which is usually his preferred way, which is a little easier on my back, but he just wants to be carried. He just goes limp. He does not support his own body weight when he's being carried. It drives me crazy. Whoop. Alright, he's getting in his bag. Good job, buddy. Can I get him in shot? No. This is why I wanted the selfie stick. You can kind of just barely see an ear. Yeah. Oh well. Saves me battery. Okay. Back to the car. I don't need to film that because you cannot see my cat. And you also can't see me because it's too dark. Woo. Bye-bye. So we're back on the streets. Angus is in his backpack. And I haven't lost my microphone. I probably just made a horrible noise. I apologize to me later editing this. But I think we might have gone too far and past my car because we were down at the river. And I guess I kind of thought that I would realize when we'd gone past. But now I don't know. Well, I guess if I'm going the wrong way now, I'll just have even more of a good walk than I expected to. It's very pretty. And in my urban human way, a lot less nerve-wracking when I have streetlights. Really shouldn't waste my battery. But now that I've started, it's fun. Man. Is this where the horses were? Because that's bunny. Another bunny on a lawn. wild bunny. The camera is surprisingly good at picking up this terrible lighting. Remarkable. Alright, I'll leave you to it, bun. Alright, you're ready. Oh, that's still out of focus. 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 That's a funny face you got there, bud. If only the camera could see it. You're backing up a little helps. There you go. Yeah, so we're back in the car after getting a little lost. And now that we are somewhere safe and familiar, Angus is happy to claim his reward, which is this squeeze up stuff. It's slightly cheaper than Chiru, and it's basically the same thing, and kitty cats love it, which is one of Angus's 2 favorite treats. You done? You done? No, he's not done. Yum, 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 yum. Yeah. So we're in the car. We're obviously not moving. We're still parked at the park. Just catching my breath. Hope you are enjoying this lovely cat eating ASMR. Hopefully it's picking it up. It's very funny. Yum, yum, yum. Alright, just a little bit more and then we're gonna save the last dregs for when we get back. So yeah, when I was listing off his rewards earlier, it sounded like I give him a lot of treats, but it's literally just 1 tube, which is 1 serving. I just give it to him in little bits. You want to clean off the other side for me? Alright, and we will squeeze it like a toothpaste tube once we get back to the apartment. Yeah. And then you can have real dinner, because we've been out. It's 8:30, it's like an hour past his real dinner time, but I think you enjoyed your little hike, huh? Yeah. You got to explore. Yum, yum, yum. Alright. So I will finish getting settled and we will head home. Yeah. You're just too cute. I want to keep filming you. What do you see? Okay, I'll turn it off now. Say bye, Angle. Bye bye. Serious face.